I need to inform you that we've been told we are no longer required for this episode.
Absolutely disappointing and unprofessional.
Uncouth.
Uncouth.
Yes.
These two young punks, no qualifications, they're not mechanics, they're not engineers, they're no life experience whatsoever, have just come out here and said they don't need us. They're doing their own intro. So to them we say,
welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods, proudly supported by Just Car Insurance.
Now, Super Gramps, we're going to bring this car back from a massive...
Back from the dead, Martin.
Basically, yeah, but with like a new body and new bits on all sorts of stuff that's all newer and younger and better.
The thing is with Super Gramps, we got to make it kind of better and everyone. We're making it faster.
Yeah.
We're making it run better. We're making it run colder, Martin. What else are we doing? I've got to get something.
Basically, you know, updating from a chassis that was designed in the 80s to something that's kind of, you know, in the 2000s, which is a massive upgrade. You get things like better air.
And now, next thing we're going to do is install this, which is pretty heavy right now, but that there is going to make Gramps run better and faster. It's a big, solid block of metal that's going to help Gramps be the boss. Take that, Martin.
Oh, wow.
That's your new front mount intercooler, mate.
That's going to work really. Where's the air go?
Well, it's not finished.
Okay.
That's just a raw block. So we're down here at Hypertune. We're going to be milling this out. We're making madness, Martin, out of this. We're literally today, we're going to be making our own front mount intercooler. Now this is a little bit beyond the normal like DIY action, but you got to push it, Martin. You got to take it to the next level. You've got to take it, as they said in Top Gun, you got to take it to the danger zone.
Really?
Well, danger to the manifold of Super Gramps.
You know, we were just standing in front of about 7,000 horsepowers.
It's pretty awesome, Martin.
Two massive drag car things.
I think we want this machine over here. And there's Peter.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter.
I brought my block with me.
Hello, mate.
Yeah, mate.
We came to use your very expensive machinery today to make a front mount intercooler.
That's right.
Martin's going to ask you some questions about it.
I am. So, Peter, Hypertune, what do you guys normally do? I mean, we're here to make an intercooler, but obviously there's cars and all sorts of stuff around, so what's the deal?
Manufacture intake manifolds, throttle bodies, intercoolers, exhaust manifolds, and anything custom on a car, basically, roll cages.
Yep.
Really.
So by manufacturing, I mean, there's a couple of big machines. What kind of stuff have we got?
We're talking about 3-axis mills, 2-axis lathes, 5-axis machining centres. We've got a CNC tube bender down the back there. We've got sheet metal and welding facilities.
So someone might go, I got my front mount off eBay and it was, you know, 40 bucks. Obviously, you can probably only buy that hunk of metal for 40 bucks, and then you've got the time and materials of actually machining it. What are some of the benefits of doing that?
Yeah, look, it's almost impossible for us to compete on price with something that comes from somewhere like China. But there are some advantages. For example, today you guys wanted something that fit in a very specific spot. Dimensions were limited. We can make something that's exactly what you want, basically. Length and height and width and inlet and outlet size and mounting positions.
Yeah. So can you tell me kind of what the plan is for what we're going to do with that?
Well, to start with, we're going to have to cut it down because it's too big.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit too big this way. We're going to cut it through the middle. We're going to cut these header plates down a little bit to fit as well. Then we're going to make some intakes.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown of what it is that we're doing because we've never done this before, so this is all new to us. The first thing we've got to do is we've got to cut this down to size. So we've got to cut through the fins here, and then we've got to trim back the header plate and prep it to make it easier to weld. Next thing, we're going to get this massive chunk of metal that we showed you before. We're going to cut that in half with a bandsaw, and then using CNC milling, we're going to make a couple of end tanks like this. Then these here are going to be welded on like that. We've got a few other bits of pipe and stuff to do there, but basically with that cut down, that is going to be our custom Super Gramps intercooler. All of this work in the milling, of course, is going to be happening in this machine behind us, and but it's going to be mad. We're going to have a properly super custom intercooler for Super Gramps. It's very cool of the guys down here to have us down here, particularly that we are like all about DIY, and this is next level. So it's very, very cool to have the opportunity, and we're really excited about bringing you guys along on this exciting, magical journey with us.
While Marty's getting his nerd on with some 3D design software, Pete and I are going to prep the intercooler core. First up, we've got to measure up the aluminium bar so that it can be cut using a giant hydraulic bandsaw. It slowly nibbles away at the bar the same way I nibble away on tofu, and about 10 minutes later, we've got 2 blank pieces of material that we can put in the CNC machine to get nibbled.
250 mil down here, step through the bandsaw, then we just got to prep here. Then the machine, it's got a CNC mill up the end tanks, then we can weld it on. You can weld, Martin.
I hope so.
You got some skills, man. Weld that up.
Mad.
And then we're getting proper custom. How many people are making their own intercooler right now, Martin?
Now we've got to cut down the intercooler core. Intercoolers that are too big and drag on the ground, like you've probably seen on VL Commodores, are a thing of the past. We want neat and tight and tidy. So we're going to cut the core down to perfectly fit between the headlights and the bottom of the front bumper.
It kind of looks really delicious, doesn't it? Do you ever get that feeling like you just want to bite into that?
Yeah, how good does that look?
It looks awesome. You need to go see a dentist afterwards, but we're literally making power, or we're making the devices that are going to allow Super Gramps to make power. It's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Increasing its thermal efficiency.
That's awesome.
I'm going to take 5 mil off there, 5 mil off there, and then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same on the other side.
And the reason we're taking that off is so that when we make
Just so it's
the ends, it's going to fit better over the
the
tube.
size of this is going to match with the size of the end tanks we're going to make.
Great, man. All right, let's chop.
CNC machines can be programmed in advance or operated by hand like we're doing here. The core is lined up and then the material is shaved off. Next, our end tanks need to be designed in 3D CAD software so they can be loaded into the CNC machine.
So to give you an idea of what it is exactly that we're doing here, this is an inlet manifold for an RB26. Now that there was literally made, it's heavy, Martin. That was made out of that. I just have to put it down, it's quite heavy. So that was made out of that, and basically that goes inside the machine, and the machine has access to heaps of different tools. And so you program it in, you say off you go, it nibbles this out with a whole lot of different tools, inside, outside, depending on what it is that it needs to do, and all the stuff that you don't use ends up down here. That's basically what the Terminator eats for breakfast. Or it's Terminator Turd. It's probably more like Terminator Turd, actually, that you can see down there. It's pretty cool. Nissan, Martin. I'm looking forward to using this one day.
All right, Mark, so this is like the beginning of building our end tank. We've got to turn it in from a block of aluminium into an actual tank.
That's right.
So what's the process to actually kind of draw it up?
Well, after we've sketched this end where we're going to weld it onto the intercooler and the inlet pipe, we just do a loft.
Just joins the top and the bottom layer together, but curves it?
That's right. We can apply some tangency to each end.
Yep. And is this where you kind of get your flow? Like you've got to make sure it's something that will have an even airflow?
That's right, yeah. So you can see here we have a facing operation.
And that's telling you the direction that the tool is actually taking metal away.
That's right.
And you tell it which tool to use as well. And then it tells it what actual axis to follow.
Yeah, so it's choosing the tool, doing a tool change, and then following the path that's been calculated by the CAM software.
So you could write this out by hand if you were...
You could, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Make a shape. That's pretty cool.
But this program, we'll just have a look, is 46,500 lines.
46,000...
Yeah, you
500 lines of code to make that.
That's right.
Wow, next level. Better than a hammer and a screwdriver anyway.
That's right.
Mad. Well, I reckon we should go and make an end tank.
Okay,
What
let's
do you
do
think?
it.
Mad.
So Marty, this piece has been chopped. Look at that. So now we're going to, we'll take the first one, go put that inside the machine. It'll probably take around maybe 40 minutes to do both sides of our end tank. Let's get started. Have you got to show it the edges, or is it going to find like with a sensor?
I've got to tell it.
Right.
There are ones that'll find it themselves. That one's got one. This one we're going to tell it.
Okay. So you just entered and said that's an edge.
There's my little tool library. We've got some drills, and we've got some taps, and we've got some balls.
I like the thing.
Yeah, I think that was probably to do with doing this job.
Oh really?
Tools that aren't usually in there, so I'll remember next time I see them and remember taking them out again.
So when that comes out, it'll be an end tank.
That'll be a first half of an end tank.
First half of an end tank.
Then
we've got to flip it and do the inside, Martin. You got to do both. Do the outside, flip it, and then pump it again. Do the other side.
CNC machines spray a cutting fluid which also acts as a coolant onto the piece. Metal gets hot when you cut it, so the fluid helps stabilise the temperature, and that protects the tool itself.
Oh yeah, look at it. Covered in juicy. That coolant smells so sweet too. Smells clean and smells like parts that are going to make power.
That's awesome. So smooth, Martin.
Yeah, look at it.
Super Gramps.
Machined intercoolery goodness.
We then flip the end tank over and begin cutting the opposite side. Once the machine has done its first rough pass, it refines the edges, giving a smoother overall finish.
I can hear the ocean, Martin, in both ears. Oh, there's a shark in this one. So, here they are. They're finished. They're the two end tanks. Properly, mad, strong, done out of one piece of metal, so there's no welds or anything on that. It's literally just one chunk that is slowly, subtractively munched out, Martin, to that. These get welded on the side of the core. Some pipes go on there. Gramps goes faster. Super Gramps, there it is. Hello.
That's incredible.
It's really spooky just
Like
seeing.
everything sounds the same, like stereo, it's kind of not in stereo anymore. Whoa. Hello. Hello.
The edges of the core need to be ground smooth, which also removes any contaminants on the surface of the metal. This means the welds will be strong and mad. We're using an orbital sander to get the top of the core nice and smooth, then deburring the edges to round them off.
We're going to be welding 2.5-inch pipe directly to the intercooler end tanks. It's cut in a drop saw, then cleaned up, ready for welding.
Welding aluminium can be a little trickier than steel. It requires a welder capable of delivering AC current and argon gas.
Aluminium filler rod gets dabbed into the weld pool to give a mad stacked dime appearance.
We've got our end tanks ready to go. What's the next step?
Basically, we're just going to clean it with some thinners, and then we're right to weld it on.
Cool, so throw it on there, TIG around the whole way.
Correct.
And this welding's kind of important because it's got to hold pressure, right?
Exactly right. So, although there is a dress cover plate going over the top here,
Yep.
it's important to weld the tanks on first,
Yep.
get the unit sealed, and
Yep.
then we can add the cover later.
Right, because holes in your welding basically means boost leaks.
Exactly.
Nobody likes that.
No one likes it.
The end tanks are tack welded to the core to make sure they don't move around when they heat up.
Oh, stacking dimes, look at that, that's perfect. Look at that. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? Are you excited by this as much as I am?
Once the two end tanks are welded on, we can bend up the dress plate that will cover where the intercooler got chopped. Once my welds had been inspected by just about everyone, it was time to finish off the other side and check out our mad finished intercooler.
What would you give that out of 10? Be honest and go hard.
Honestly,
Once I got going.
at least 6.5 or 7.
6.5! Yes!
With the end tanks and top plate welded, we're all done.
So there it is, a mad new custom-made front mount intercooler with billet end tanks and mad flowy bits.
Look at that, Martin. That's massive E-points and cred for Super Gramps. Of course, massive thank you to our friends down here at Hypertune. What an awesome day. I've never made a front mount before. I don't think many people have, but that is proper quality. It's mad. It's going on Gramps, which means we're going to be punching down the quarter mile even faster than last time, aren't we, Martin? Are we committing to that now?
That'd be awesome.
We are committing to that? Okay, Super Gramps is going to be faster than original Gramps.
Yep. And you know what's good about this? We have to go and put it in a shell.
Yeah, which is going to be awesome. Of course, keep your eyeballs on our Faceballs, which is faceballs.com/mightycarmods. And this is our YouTube channel. What else have we got, Martin? Is that it?
We've got a second channel called MCM TV2, which you should check out. And you should go and get some mad stickers from our shop because I love them.
Yeah, we've got a range of stickers and music and magazines and clothing and DVDs and other ridiculously awesome stuff. We ship worldwide to your door hole. That's at mightycarmods.com. So thank you for that. It's the end of the day. The birds are singing, the kookaburras are spewing. So it's time to go, get some mad food, get some ribs, Martin. Do you want some ribs?
Goodbye. Yeah, I do. I do want ribs.
What animal is a rib from?
My face has been front mount intercooled. Hello.
What animal is a rib from?
Usually.
With our intercooler all finished and looking mad, there was only one thing left to do, and that's make sure it sounds exactly as it's meant to.
quite good.
What's the secret, dude? What's the secret to your front mount intercooler harping? Because this has been going on for years.
What's the secret?
Yeah, like we want to know what the inspiration is and...
No inspiration from me. I'm merely the instrument that flows down from the turbo gods.
Because if I grab a front mount, it doesn't make that sound. So what's the secret?
They flow down through me, Martin. That's why I've been eating so much tofu all this time. The tofu removes that part of your brain that is analytical and about fact. It removes it so you become a sieve, and your brain is filled with the music of the gods. It comes through me like electricity. My fingers tingle. And if I just touch this now, it'll sound beautiful. I mean, listen to this. I won't even look at it. The sound of angels. The sound of angels. The sound of a single angel.
Is she hot?
That sound hot to you?
Is that like equivalent of a Stradivarius?
It's a Coulavarius, yes.
Coulavarius?
Yes.
So the high end, obviously, the better your instrument, the better the music that comes from
Well, this one's a bit thicker, so sometimes you'll see this one goes a lot lower than the last one. If you listen to the lowest note of this one, it's much lower than the other intercoolers, but it doesn't go as high, so the highest note is only that. But because you've got more scope between here and here in the thickness, the body resonates, you get a better sound. Anyone can do this. You just got to eat a lot of tofu, and you've just got to let it flow through, and you could be doing this. Anyone can do it. There it is, Martin.